Hey, how are you doing? Welcome to the Hash Rugby Chat. I'm Paul from drivingmall.com. Hey there, hey folks. Thank you for joining, and welcome to the Hash Rugby Chat pre-show. Oh, hearts already. That's great. So what I do here is I just give a quick warm up before we go on to the Hash Rugby Chat Twitter chat. I just run through kind of what's been happening for the week over the weekend. So if you want to tap the screen, that gives us hearts, which is all very nice. And if you swipe left or right, I can't remember which one it is, you can then share it with your Twitter friends. Thanks a lot. And yes, let's kick off with how about those All Blacks. So obviously last weekend we had the Rugby World Cup quarterfinals. First up was South Africa versus Wales, where I think South Africa got out of jail a little bit. Wales, they stuffed up their attack again early doors, and then in the second half, even when South Africa dominated, they didn't look like breaking down Wales until right at the end there. Next up, obviously, was New Zealand versus France, and this New Zealand side really is turning into a side that turns up for certain occasions. And when there aren't those occasions, they look good, but they don't look fantastic. A good example was Eden Park, after getting beaten in Australia, 1 week apart, and the two sides were just night and day. And this was one of those situations where they were going to put a few ghosts to bed, and there was no way they were going to lose it. The black jersey is being saved for this weekend for the semi-finals. I'm in my Lions jersey, saying goodbye to all the Six Nations sides, all the European sides actually, because of France as well. Ireland, Argentina. Ireland just got blitzed early doors. Then impressively managed to come back, and then Argentina just shut it down in the last quarter. But it was close for a while there. And finally, Australia, Scotland. A lot of people talking about the last. Let's check the time. A lot of people talking about the last play of the game, but Australia really were poor and let Scotland stay in this. If they play out there against Argentina, they're going to lose. Charge down try, intercept try, not defending behind the ruck. 3 soft tries. Scotland should not have been. Australia shouldn't have let Scotland be in this, but that's how it goes. If you're watching this, by the way, yeah, you do. Who's your picks for the final? I've made them. I'll be writing the article tomorrow, so check out the blog in about 24 hours' time for that. The Aussies versus All Blacks is definitely turning into one of the kind of trending piece. I say if Australia put that performance in again, that's probably what we're going to see. Been a few other things going on around Rugby World Cup. There's been a bit of talk about some funding, especially for the Tier 2 nations. Check out my blog. I've done a piece there where I've shown you what actually that really means. It's not as big a difference for the Tier 2 sides as you'd expect. I look at the bans, and I looked at it before the 2 Scots guys got off, but before that it didn't look. It didn't look like your lawyer made that much difference to the length of the ban, but there was a big difference in the number of sightings that Tier 2 get versus Tier 1. I think that would be improved if they got more games with top level refs. I had a quick look at injuries today. Apparently 33 injuries. 33 players had to go home through injury. That's a whole squad has gone home. That's quite scary. So a few things of those. If you're watching this on YouTube, because this will get posted to YouTube later, all the links to all of those will be in the show notes. So that was Rugby World Cup. Other stuff's been going on though. Currie Cup semi-finals are now over. So the Lions will be hosting Western Province, and the Lions have been unbeaten this season. So I think we'll probably see a fairly comfortable win for the Lions in the final there. That's obviously in South Africa. Over here in New Zealand, the Storm, which is the Auckland Ladies, won their final at the weekend, and I've gone blank as to who they were playing, but I think it was Canterbury. But I could be wrong. I say this, but they won at the weekend. They've had an impressive season this season. Yeah, I got down to see a couple of their games, and then in the final of the ITM Cup, we've got Canterbury are hosting Auckland, so the two big powerhouses are facing off there. Then in the Championship, you've got Hawke's Bay hosting Wellington, and see whether Hawke's Bay can cope now. They've lost the Loggerwood, the Ranfil Shield, which is the Challenge Cup here. They lost that to Waikato recently, so we'll see if there's any hangover from that as they host Wellington in the Champions Cup. Personally, I think Wellington's going to win that one. The Aviva Premiership kicked off as well at the weekend with it's looking like a very competitive cup. And for those, Auckland for the cup. Hope so, but we'll see if they can hold off a strong Canterbury side who have looked the better side over the season. The Aviva Premiership, as I say, kicked off. There are 8 sides now that look like potential top 4 finishes. So it's going to be a very competitive league this season, with another 3 who look like they're going down, and then you've got Sale, who kind of sat in the middle, who who I can't really see making the top 4 or going down. They'll sort of sail around mid-table somewhere. But the big shock in the first weekend was Worcester Warriors, who've just been promoted, beating Northampton Saints, who obviously were champions just a couple of seasons ago. So major upset, reminiscent of Exeter, who won their first game after getting promotion. So we'll see whether they can stay up just like Exeter did. The NRC in Australia is also coming to the pointy end. So the semi-finals there are going to be between Canberra Vikings against Melbourne Rising and Brisbane City against Sydney Stars. The 2 home sides there should both win comfortably and face off in the final. Also, there is the top 14's been going on. Toulon have lost another game, so they'll be looking at getting all their World Cup stars back as soon as possible, because they're looking a bit of it. They've lost like 3 games now this season already, which is kind of amazing. And also the Pro 12 saw action over the weekend, and I think there's, from memory, 4 teams, 3 or 4 teams who are still unbeaten at the top there, with 2 of them facing off this coming weekend. So lots and lots of domestic rugby going on at the moment, as well as a Rugby World Cup. So this will obviously I'll be putting this up on YouTube probably this evening. So check out my channel, Driving More, on YouTube for clips of these. And I don't know if you saw that I did a piece on doing all the highlights from the Hash Rugby chat for last week on the blog. So if you had a look at it, let me know. Did you like it? It's something I should continue doing. Anyway, just a couple of minutes until the Hash Rugby chat. I'm going to go grab a drink before we kick off with that, and catch you all on Twitter. Thanks, folks.